Hey everyone, welcome to the Prop Shop, the podcast that brings you the coolest tips and tricks for your costuming and replica prop needs. We're your hosts, Adam Hazy.
Sean Toomey.
Ryan Tucker.
And we have a special guest for us tonight, Chris Lambo. He's going to talk to us about how he got into 3D modeling and what he does for that. But before that happens, we're going to kind of fill you in on what's been going on with us. So I'll just go ahead and start things out since I'm already talking and have one breath of air. What I've been up to is I've almost finished with my first sewing projects ever, which are going to be Christmas gifts for a couple of friends of mine. So I can't really talk about them, but come our show after the holidays, I can definitely fill you in on what I've been up to.
Should I go next? I want to go next. I'm talking, so I'm going next. Anyways, lately, just the last weekend, actually, I had a really cool event happen. I had my first ever armor build party. I had invited Brad Thompson up. He at the time he lived about 3 hours away down in Oklahoma City, and so he drove up, stayed the night, came over Friday night. We built armor till like 4 in the morning. Went to sleep for a few hours, got back up at like 8 or 9, and started building again.
That sounds like a pretty fun weekend.
It was fantastic. I think he got more done than I did, but that's okay. He was very focused on what he was doing. I was getting distracted, and I didn't really know what to work on. He had plans. I didn't. So I ended up kind of jumping around a little bit. I was working on a couple of different casts that I've had laying around on the shelf for a while. A couple of different helmets that I probably should have built a while ago, but haven't yet.
It's probably usually a good idea.
Yeah,
You bought.
yeah, exactly. And then I did end up getting my Halo Reach Mark 5B helmet. I got it coated in resin and got a couple of coats on the inside, so it's now pretty sturdy. So I'm going to be working on that, finishing it up here pretty soon. And and while he was here, he brought up one of his molds for his Iron Man Mark 42 helmet. So
Did he? I didn't know that.
He did, and he let me pour a cast, so that was pretty cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Did you get to keep it, or did you sell it to him?
No. I kept
You should
it.
have sold it to him.
I should have sold it to him. Be like, yeah, I'm
You should've sold it to him.
pouring you a cast with your own mold with my resin, and you're gonna buy it from me. But no, he let me keep it, and it came out really well. It's a good mold.
That's cool. Yeah, I picked up one of his Mark 42s about a month ago. I can't wait till spring so I can start sanding it down and get it ready for paint.
Yeah, he said he's poured like 20 something helmets out of that mold, and I mean this one still came out really nice and smooth.
That's not bad. That's
very
pretty
very tiny flaws. Nothing major at all. I mean, very easily fixed. So yeah, that's.
So Sean, how about you?
I think Ryan wasn't finished with it even.
No, that's pretty much it, I think.
Is it?
And I'm working on my own Iron Man helmet that I've started resining, but it's not ready yet. So now you can go, Sean. I promise.
But before
Okay.
you go, Sean, I need to tell Ryan something. People love their eye details, so make sure you get those spot on. 'Cause the eyes are one of the toughest parts to get because they got the lights and they got the detail and the tiny little.
I don't like you at all right now.
Guys, tell Ryan he needs to get the eye details done. Comment below, write us a review on iTunes, and be like, we want more details from Ryan.
In the eyes of the Iron Man helmet.
Eye detail.
It's just because of that pep file. That's it. That's the whole thing. All right, Sean, you can go. I promise.
Okay, so since this is going to be probably the only time I get to talk.
So Sean, talk about what you've been up to.
I've done nothing. Rest of the podcast go. No, I'm kidding. No, I finally got to today actually. I just got started working on my Mandalorian again. I ordered the helmet for it, and it should get here after Christmas. So.
Oh, that's gonna be cool. Once you
Yeah.
get it, you're gonna have kind of talk to us about what you're doing to it.
Definitely, it's gonna be awesome. Probably when I get it, I'm probably just gonna start working on it right after I get it. I don't care if it's cold outside or not. So.
Oh yeah, because you live down south where there's not like
Yeah.
3-foot tall snow mounds right now.
Well, right, it was actually almost it was almost 65 degrees today, but it dropped all the way down to 38. So it's kind of like a drastic change there.
Ooh, we're currently at 27.
Yeah, it's supposed to get 50 tomorrow, I think. So it's not supposed to get too cold, but not warm either. So.
Well, congrats. You have warmer weather than most of us.
Yeah, so that means more progress for me. So
let's go ahead and bring on our guest who's been, I don't want to say patiently waiting, because he's been having a good old time listening to us fight. Chris Lambo talked to us about basically how he got started in 3D modeling, and then how he's decided and why he's decided to kind of go into the prop and costume route with it. So, Chris, go ahead and
alrighty.
the floor.
Okay, well, yeah, like you said, I'm Chris Lambo from Armory Props. And yeah, I'm their 3D modeler. Pretty much everything that I do for them is I design their PEP templates and yeah, end up sending them off so that they can do good work with them. Now, as for how I got into this, I ended up starting 3D modeling when I was in 9th grade in high school. Ended up taking a drafting class, which it really wasn't a drafting class for the first year, because we had a brand new teacher, and we just ended up goofing off and such. But anyways, there was just this one little course that we ended up having, and we ended up using like this program called Google SketchUp. And yeah, it was just like simplest program that I had ever seen made, or just ever seen interface-wise. So I ended up just starting it up and doing whatever I felt like. And everybody else was just looking at me like, what are you doing? And just all this crazy stuff, like looking at me like I'm all weird because I'm modeling right off the bat. It's like, well, it's not
right, because I have a little bit of experience with Google SketchUp. So it's not a terrible program to use it.
Yeah,
I like to use it for like simpler projects and things.
Absolutely, yeah.
And it's free too, so anyone can jump into it.
Yeah, exactly. That's a really good point to bring up. But
something I've noticed with it is it works differently than a lot of the other 3D programs, where it's like you need to start with a base figure and kind of build off of that.
Yeah, it's the way SketchUp is built, like just in modeling methods and such, it mainly relies on mesh manipulation, which literally all you do is move around vertices and just points, planes, whatever, until you make it a pretty shape or something like that. Like pretty much what I do with my helmets. I work off of a low detailed mesh that I am, well, actually not really that low detailed, but just a base mesh. I end up importing it into SketchUp from another program that I'm using, and from there I just kind of like tweak it, move it around, make sure that it's like every feature's smooth and it pops out, it looks good, nice and crisp, and all that other stuff. And that's just kind of the fundamentals to how I model my stuff.
Okay, that's pretty interesting, because I didn't know that you went from two different programs. I always assumed you did everything in just the one program.
Yeah, I actually use, let me think, I use Google SketchUp for modeling and detailing because I have it completely loaded to the teeth with plugins, so it's practically not SketchUp anymore.
That's always a good thing too. You get to customize your own personal liking.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the one thing that I learned. That's like another thing that I really liked about SketchUp was the fact that it's so like you can customize it and have like a big like sidebar that has all of your tools or something like that, and then you can have plugins wherever else you want, and they're just right there, right at your disposal. Instead of like in say 3ds Max, you want to extrude a beveled edge or something like that, you have to go into all these like drop down menus, and it's like, okay, this is a little ridiculous. Just to get to this one feature, I have to go through 10 menus. And yeah, that's just why I use SketchUp, because it works way faster, since I have everything up on my screen that I need to use.
Now, you mentioned using another program.
Yes.
What is that other program that you like to use beforehand?
Okay, well, actually, it's a program that just helps me in my process of attaining at least a 50% accuracy with my models, since I do primarily do mainly just Halo replica models. So, like, for instance, Ryan's Pathfinder helmet that I'm working on right now, pretty much what I did is I went into the Halo 4 theater and, took some screenshots from it so that I could get like a 360 view of it, and kind of, well, not really like 100% seamless, but just all the way around, so I know where all the details are. And from there, I import the pictures into this the other program that I'm talking about called Recap Photo. It's a program that's offered by Autodesk, and it's the brainchild of 123D Catch, which unfortunately was a horrible program. But Recap Photo is much better. But what it does is it essentially looks at those images and determines how close, like, each the subjects in the picture, like, say for instance you have a Spartan just kind of like standing out in the middle of nowhere, that would be like a plane right there, and then the background would be another plane. So as you go around your object, the distance changes between the subject and the background, and it pretty much translates all of that into three-dimensional data and generates a mesh that you can use. Mind you, it's kind of shoddy depending on the quality that your images are, how many you take, wow, I just had a complete brain fart right there. I'm sorry, guys.
That's okay. But I find it pretty interesting that the magic it can do, basically, because
Yeah.
that it is magic. So you're just taking just still pictures. So
Yep.
basically, the more you take and the more time you take taking those pictures, the better your product's going to end out through that program.
Exactly. That's very, very true. Because on average, when I'm doing a new 3D scan for a helmet or like a chest piece, I normally take around at least 60 different pictures to be able to capture the form completely and have the silhouette be like 100% spot on. Because that's a guarantee with that program. You can get the overall shape literally identical to how it looks in game.
Well, that's like I said, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, definitely.
And you said you kind of started off in school by doing like these quick and simple models.
Yeah, exactly.
In class.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how did you go from basically doing that to being like, I'm going to do these incredibly awesome Halo soldiers?
Okay, well, let me think. I'm trying to think back to my ninth grader self right now. So, yeah, actually, my ninth grade, I got my very first laptop, and I was introduced to Halo about 2 years earlier. So, it was like the to have that on my computer. So, I downloaded it on my computer, ended up playing it and all this stuff. And like after my 20th playthrough on the campaign, I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, it would be really cool to like try and make the Master Chief or something like that. So that was like one of my very first ever models that I did, was the Halo Combat Evolved Master Chief, which, mind you, it turned out like a pile of crap because I had no idea about body portions, really, the way limbs actually have different rotational angles and stuff like that, depending on the position they're in, and how that affects positioning around the body and all this other stuff. It's just, I honestly don't really know how to go into explaining it right now without confusing everybody. So I'm just
right, but I can say it's better than my model because I don't know how to 3D model that well.
Yeah, it's 3D modeling definitely is. It's a completely acquired skill. The more time you spend doing it, the better you're gonna get. It's gonna work that way, and as long as you're using your same programs as well, you're gonna be okay. So yeah, and that's what I've done. The same program. I've been using Google SketchUp for about 7 years now. So that would explain my knowledge base on all the plugins and how the mesh modeling works and all this other crazy stuff.
Well, and in all honesty, what you're doing is just as much of an art form as what I do when I'm physically
Mm-hmm.
building stuff. I mean, you may be building it digitally, but everything you're doing is just as, in my opinion, just as amazing as, not to say my stuff is amazing, but um that's not what I meant by that, but like
Yeah.
stuff you build, like I look at that and I'm like, holy crap, that is amazing. Like just seeing the detail that you guys put into stuff. Like some people are like, oh well, it's just a 3D model, that's easy. And I'm like, yeah, well, you try
Huh.
it.
Yeah.
You try it.
Exactly.
If you
Mm-hmm.
can do that, then yeah, you can say it's easy. But I've tried a couple of different 3D modeling programs and I'm just like, nah, I don't really know what I'm doing. Granted, I haven't put 7 years of, effort into it
Yeah.
yet, but I mean, it, like you said, it's an acquired skill, so I'm sure I could probably learn. I might not be able to learn as good as you or as good as others, but I could probably at least learn it if I really sat down and tried. But it's the same thing with physical prop building. If someone's like, "Oh man, you do that and that looks really good, but I could never do that." I'm just like, "No, no, no. Don't say you never can because you can. You have to it takes time to learn. I've been
Yeah.
physically
Exactly.
building props for probably as long as you've been 3D modeling and
Mm-hmm.
it when I first started, my stuff was terrible. It really was. Like I hate all of it. Like I look back and I'm like, "Oh no, I don't want to show people pictures of any of this stuff." And I'm sure you have models that are like that too. You're like, "Oh, I hate this
Oh
model."
yeah.
It, it's
Yep.
it's it's a similar, well, not entirely similar, but they're both art forms. So each artist is going
Absolutely.
to be you're going to be your own critic, and I'm my own critic, and you
Mm-hmm.
know we're going to tear our own pieces apart. Someone else might look at it and be like, "Oh, that looks amazing," and I'm like, "Well, I made this mistake here and this one over here." You know, I
But
just
you always keep those pieces to be like, look how well I've improved.
I do
Exactly.
actually.
Yeah.
I keep some of the bad ones just so whenever I build something better, I'm like, you know what? This is how much
Look
I
at.
improved over the last year.
Yeah. That's definitely very very true for all of us in this area or in this field, I should say. But uh, yeah, my 3D modeling, like when I began doing it, of course, I was bad. Like I said with the Combat Evolved Master Chief, that I will never be able to unsee because it was so garbage. But I learned a lot from making all of those mistakes and seeing just how off I was. That alone, like that model alone, just kind of made something click in my head, and I was like, well, I can always try making something else. It doesn't always have to be a character from a video game. So I kind of had like a little phase where I went through doing some 3D models of vehicles, which first vehicle that I had modeled was a F-22 Raptor, which I just had a big interest in that plane anyways because the way it was designed and everything, it just looked badass. And I felt like modeling it to show off, of course.
Always the best reason to 3D model.
Exactly. Yeah, it was funny. I'm not even kidding. I got such of a kick out of how people would react when I would make something like when I made my F-22. It was pretty spot on given, but or actually that kind of sounded condescending. Oh my god. Anyways, um, yeah, it was definitely um, like it was okay. Like it didn't have any of the super fancy like recessed surfaces and stuff like that. I just like pretty much made the shape and traced out the areas that were like different textures and stuff like that. So it would kind of look a little bit like it.
You mean to tell me you didn't
But
replicate the cockpit? Every
actually,
button?
no, I didn't do the whole cockpit. I did do the cockpit though. I'd made like the ejector seat and the dashboard, and that was pretty much it.
Oh, that's pretty cool, though.
So yeah, it looked pretty nifty. It was really good for one of my like first models. But yeah, I made a couple more vehicles. I made like a Mustang. I think I made a Lamborghini, but I don't know. I don't remember.
Gotta get them
Just
Lambos.
yeah, exactly. Gotta get them. They're designed very nicely, and funny enough, this is actually another very important part. When I modeled my Lamborghini, it actually taught me a lot. It's pretty much where I got my basis of 3D modeling and figured out how to like mess with the actual model mesh and move stuff around to make it look a different way or have a different kind of curve or something like that. And yeah, that's the method that I still use to this day on every single one of my models.
I could see that because the Lambos have like a lot of curving to them, even though it doesn't
Yeah,
actually
that's
look like it at times.
mm-hmm. Yeah, they're just very very streamlined, and trying to replicate that with a program that really since it just works along moving vertices around instead of generating them like what you do in 3ds Max or um, Blender. I get yeah, it would work the same in Blender since they they work around surface modeling instead of mesh modeling.
Right. And Maya's kind of like I tried to use it, but it
Ooh,
was like, okay, I made a cube. Now what? Like
yeah,
that's where I got stuck. I was like, don't know what I'm
yeah.
doing.
Very, very. Oh my god! When I
Go
ended
on
up,
the internet. How do I make not a cube?
how do I
3 hours later of videos. Okay, so I moved the cube up 3 inches. That's good.
make? This is an
Now
amazing
what?
tutorial. Yeah, that
26 hours later. Okay, I shrunk the cube. I don't want a cube though.
yeah. Oh wow, that summed up all of my thoughts about when I had to try learning Maya. It was just like I don't want to do this. This is just
Now I'm not
slow.
bashing the program because if you know what you're doing, you can do some
You,
incredible stuff.
Now
yeah,
my
no
cube is
kidding.
a trapezoid.
Oh,
But at least for me, that learning curve for Maya is just off the charts.
yeah. I actually was only going to use Maya for animation when I originally started learning it, but yeah, that's the only reason why I even like attempted to learn it. But I just didn't work with me.
So that's always been an interesting question too. Is you are a 3D modeler,
Mm-hmm.
but do you animate? Because a lot of people assume, oh, well, he models, that means he can animate.
Yeah, no, that is not true at all. There are few people here and there that you will find that know how to model and animate, but that's just like they're very few and far between because there are hardware limitations that adversely affect what you can do in an animation. Because the very few times that I've tried animating, uh, let's just say my computer literally just straight up black screens on me and shuts off. I can't turn it back
Well,
on for
that's
5
not good.
minutes. That's a big reason why a lot of 3D modelers just they don't show any interest in it because it's going to absolutely destroy their computer and then they're not going to be able to 3D model anymore. But yeah, it's just one of those things that it's kind of um, like working on a car in a way. Like some people know how to work on one part really well, like the engine or something. But as
Right, and
for
some are master welders, and
yes, yeah,
here's
exactly.
electrician, and then
Yep, they have like all these different little specialties that they have. But
And I
yeah,
can
I mean
change my own oil.
yeah, that's a good one.
that's more than I can do too.
Yeah, I
My
don't
my
even
car
know.
knowledge is at my 3D model knowledge.
Exactly. Oh, jeez. Let's see. What was I gonna say?
Now, when you model, because there's also another side to modeling where the textures come in.
Oh, good lord.
Have you ever
yeah.
messed with trying to texture something? You're just like, I have a white or gray model. I'm happy with that.
Yeah. Yeah, that was one part that I got hung up, actually. When I had first, like, I'd say probably the first 4 years of me learning SketchUp, I had no idea, like, what to do or how to, like, get, fancy textures in. Because in SketchUp, it's only, like, pretty much a basic color palette. Well, yeah, color palette with multiple variations of every color. But it's
You have the color, you have like 3 lights, 3 darks of that, and then always a black.
Yeah, exactly. There's always a black or a gray, always gray as well. But yeah, that's like pretty much the only thing you could do in SketchUp. So for a while, my models kind of looked like they were shit out by a unicorn. So they were just like so incredibly brightly colored because I didn't really associate like color matching by adding like a gray diffuse or something like that to make it look more like realistic.
Why is Master Chief neon? Couldn't find the right green.
Couldn't find right green. Yeah, that.
But
yeah,
his visor's also neon green. Yep.
Yeah, that was me too. Yeah. Let me think. I used that kind of disadvantage though of SketchUp as an advantage for me because if you know, like, you obviously know how to color match and stuff like that, and like the texture pattern of the model you're working on, you can emulate it by putting in like corresponding tonal color so that it looks generally close, but just like a flat color of the model,
right?
With
It's like
no scratches or any of that other stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much like, here's what would happen if he was pristine and there was no kind of shadows or damage or anything else to it.
Yeah, that's precisely what you can do in SketchUp. But yeah, this is leading into another program that I use, which I also do renderings of my 3D models outside of 3ds Max and Blender. I use a program that's called KeyShot 4.0 Pro, which it's pretty much just a renderer. That's it. And you can make like a custom library. You can access bump maps, normal maps, pretty much everything you can do in 3ds Max, but it's all done in presets. So you can make renders like on the fly, really, really fast. For like one of my super detailed renders that I've made over the years, I think the longest amount of time my computer has taken to render one was, I'd say, maybe a day and a half. Whereas if I were to be using like 3ds Max, that day and a half render probably would have turned into a week and a half long render.
Oh wow, that's a bit of a difference.
Big time. And
especially since even most people would be like, a day and a half render, that's too much for me.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, once you get those big programs and stuff, they take forever.
They really do, and it's just like a downfall to me. I don't really like that. I like being able to have, a constant workflow where I can be, making something while I have another program running and doing a render. So I have a constant workflow. I'm constantly putting stuff out, so I'm not sitting around doing nothing.
Well, you're fine until you get 2 renders going, and then you're like, well, now what?
Yeah, I don't think my computer can handle 2 renders going at once. I can queue them up, but if I try rendering 2 things at once, it's just, everything's going to go to hell in a handbasket.
Now, when you model, do you just basically model and then you kind of hand it off to like other people like Armory Props or whoever requested something, or do you build your own model and like build your own Master Chief suit, for instance, or you kind of stay away from that more?
Oh wait, by building, are we talking about like actually physically building my models that I make, or?
Yeah, like I just built this helmet, I want my own. Go build, or do you just kind of like you just enjoy the modeling aspect of it?
Well, as of recent, that's kind of what I've started doing, like handing it off to somebody and saying, hey, here's this model, do you want to build it?
Which is kind of what he's doing with me.
Yeah, exactly. He's getting a free recruit 3D model that I'm making. That's uh, it's pretty super accurate. It's nice.
It's going to be amazing. And
Yeah,
basically,
it's.
since he's given me the file and everything,
Hmm.
once I get it built and molded and everything, I'm sending him a cash just because it's like he made the file, he deserves it.
So it's kind of like you're just trading off services, where it's like,
Yeah.
here's this, and I know you wanted this, so here's that. There you go.
Pretty much. And
Nice, good way to keep things going.
and
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
have no doubt that Chris could uh, build it himself if he wanted to, but I have a little bit more experience with like mold making and stuff, and so therefore I
Yeah,
can make the
exactly.
mold and ship it to several members of the armory team, and then others if they decide they want to purchase a cast or something.
And plus, like that way, it's kind of like, I sent you my incredible model. I would love to have something that accurately represents the model I made. So I'm going to have you do it because you're going to be able to get that detail that I already put into it.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, that's
Well, and
that's great.
and, and to me, since we're all, well, not all of us, but me, Chris, Jeremy, Jose, we're all a team. We're all armory. Um, it's nice when we're actually able to like collaborate on projects like this together too. I think.
Oh, I believe it. Because, I mean, if you're like being a team and being like, hey guys, look what I made. Oh, hey guys, look at my made. Do you think this will be a good idea? Oh, let's do this for that. That's good and all, but it's also better. It's like, hey, I worked on this part. Do you mind go ahead and finishing this off, and then we can have this amazing product we worked on together. Not quite
Exactly.
sure where I was going with that.
No, no.
It's yeah, it's true. We do. That's definitely yeah. It's a really good method of
and
going about just doing a team
and
build.
yeah, and as a team, I mean, we send each other stuff all the time.
Hmm.
Which reminds me, Chris, have you gotten your Christmas present from Jeremy yet?
I haven't. I don't know where it
You
is.
okay? Okay. I was gonna say what it was, but if you haven't got it yet, I'm not gonna ruin it.
Yeah,
Um,
don't ruin the Christmas spirit, dude.
I
You
won't.
don't
I'm
do
not.
that.
I'm not. It's a surprise. You
Okay,
get to wait. You
good,
get to wait.
good.
Um, but like yeah, like Jeremy just sent us out Christmas presents this year. He didn't even tell us he was doing it, and then just on Saturday he was like, "Oh, by the way, all your Christmas presents are in the mail," and I was like, "What?" Um, and then seriously, mine got here Monday morning from Oregon to Kansas
That's pretty good.
from shipping on Saturday. Yeah, I don't even know how. And then Chris is in what? You're in Montana?
Yeah, I'm in Montana.
Yeah, you would think he would have gotten his long before me, but he's still waiting. So
Right.
so it's kind of
Yep.
funny. But yeah, and like I've sent Jose, I sent him a couple of helmets, and some other stuff to work on. Uh, Jeremy has sent me helmets. Jose has sent me helmets. We're constantly trading stuff, and it's really cool in my opinion to have a group where we're all able to work together, and even though we're not actually together, like none of us, I say none of us, Jeremy actually lives really close to both Derek and Crystal, um, and Crystal's isn't officially a member of Armory, but she's basically in the group. But those three work together a lot. They do a lot of stuff together. They all suit up together and everything. Um, but like Jose's down in California, Ben's up in Ohio, Chris is in Montana. I'm here in Kansas. I don't even know where Gabe is, and he's not in our chat most of the time. So I always almost forget about him, and that sounds terrible. But
Oh,
he's
jeez.
still kind of new. He's new. He's new, and he's not in our group chat, um, because it kept blowing up his phone. He's one of those people who has to check every message all the time if it comes in, and he has his phone set to where if someone posts something, it goes to his phone on Facebook. And so he was getting just bombarded with everything. So he left the group chat. I mean,
Oh, jeez.
Oh
I
my
tried
god.
that once, and I was like, nope, deactivate.
yeah. We like I still message him every once in a while, but I honestly forget sometimes when they're like, "Oh, who's all in your team?" I start listing people, and then I'm like, "Oh yeah, and Gabe," at the end. Um, but I mean, the whole team. I think we all work together pretty well. And I like being able to just have a group that I can talk with all the time and send stuff, and they give me good feedback, I give them feedback. And like with Chris, he's not only getting me the recruit helmet, but I asked him just not too long ago, was it last week, I think? I asked him if he
Yeah, it
could
was last week.
get the Pathfinder helmet for me as well. And the Pathfinder, I have like I have been so excited to get a good file for that helmet because I want it so I can keep working on my Pathfinder suit, that I sadly have not touched in a couple of months. I feel really
Well,
bad.
you can blame the bad weather for that. Just be like,
Yeah.
oh, it's been cold. I can't do anything. I'm gonna go play Halo.
Yeah, just exactly that. It's too cold in my basement workshop area.
Now, I have to say, this idea popped in my head while you guys were talking, and I don't know if you'd be able to do it, Chris, but it'd be amazing to see. I need you to model the Armory Props team, like all as humans like they are now, in like a combat pose all together, kind of like a cover.
Oh god.
Now he's gonna want to do it.
Challenge accepted.
I thought that'd just be an incredible
Guys,
thing.
dude,
Do
oh my
like a
God.
3D poster and be
Dude,
awesome.
dude, and
Ryan? Yes.
Chris, once with
Yes,
our
I'm
new
here.
armor, our new armor.
Yes, our new armor.
Yes.
And here's what happens: if you make if you end up printing it out and making a poster, one side armored, flip it over, human, unarmored.
Shazam.
That would just be the coolest thing.
would your
I'm-
3D would your scanning thing work on like normal photos of like my face?
Yes.
Really? That's awesome.
That'd be cool. It's like
But-
you all get in like a different pose too, like the A team or something.
Oh my god. I could do that. That's doable. Anything you can think of, it's doable. That's the nice thing about
That'd be
3D.
hysterical. I would love to see that.
Oh my god, I
excited.
just might do it for kicks and giggles.
Dude. And then we need to print them on business cards.
Yes.
That would be so.
Yes.
Here's my card. You're on here? Yes. That's not you. Technically, it is.
Flip it over.
It's a model of me.
Shazam.
People are just like, this guy's weird. He models himself.
He models himself.
Technically, only your head. So.
Oh, you gotta do like full. You just stick them on like a different model. It's like, oh, I modeled your head, Ryan. I'm gonna stick you on Sailor Moon. There we go.
But
Stick him on
if you do
Sergeant
this,
Johnson's body.
if you do this, Chris, you have to make Jose really small.
Yeah, isn't he? Is he shorter than me, or are we the same height?
How tall are
Because I'm gonna
you?
be really small too. I'm only 5'7".
Oh, you're actually shorter than him.
Damn it!
he's
Well,
he's
this
5'8",
just turned
so
around.
you're not much shorter. Him and Ben are both 5'8", and me and Jeremy make fun of them all the time because me and Jeremy are both 6'4".
Oh, jeez.
So
Spartan
we always joke that they're Spartan 3 or 4s, and me and Jeremy are the original Spartan 2s because
Nice.
we're big and they're small. So we're big sized and they're regular size. So me and Jeremy are like George, and everyone else is like the rest of Noble Team.
And you know what else? If this project ends up taking off, you would officially be models, and you could start your modeling career.
Oh god,
Oh,
the puns.
You just see Ryan on Celebrity News strutting the runway.
Oh my god.
my 3D
Armor
modeled head.
catwalk. Oh my god.
You could print those out and have it as a Halloween mask.
Oh God.
Yes. That would be disturbing because it would look.
Print
all
You
out.
could
like
3D
waxy.
print your own head that he modeled for you and wear it.
Oh my
That-
god. We should do that.
But
We
print
need to
them
get
really,
our
make
3D
them really
printers.
big, like DK mode from GoldenEye 007.
Yeah.
Or like Saints Row when they just had the Johnny Gad heads as they robbed the bank.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah. That's
That would
exactly
be
what I was thinking
great.
about.
We're having too many
Oh my God.
fantastic ideas.
Yeah, we already have all these ideas floating around.
Trademark, copyright, all rights reserved,
Oh my
patent pending.
god.
Anything else I missed?
No, did I get everything? No? Oh, there's more? Okay.
Well, and you know, because we've already at Armory, we've already been kind of as a team designing our own custom armor, like not Halo suits, just our own custom designs. And so it would be kind of neat to have those armored designs with like our actual faces in them, like pose them
That would
up
Yeah.
be pretty
like
cool.
Yes.
like a game poster or something. You know, make it look like
Yeah.
we were doing like making our own, even though we're not making a game. But
Yeah.
You could. You
well,
just need an animator.
we need
Yeah, we
like
do. We need an
I
animator
think we
and a good texturing guide. So
yeah.
Well, I'm assuming the animator could texture.
I
If
would
not,
hope.
then yes, you need
Yeah.
another guy.
Yeah, I was thinking along like the lines of like what Rooster Teeth did with the animated portions of Red versus Blue.
Oh yeah,
Ryan,
I love
you
those.
could make your own animated web series.
Exactly.
That would be kind
That'd
of
be
fun,
pretty
and it would actually
insane.
be us. It would be us. It wouldn't be,
Yeah.
you know, people
Yeah,
in
there's no
helmets.
voice acting because you're just going to be reading off the paper in your own voice with your 3D model and your armor.
Exactly.
Yes.
There you go. There you go.
But
That, or we
so
could
are you going
live
to do your
action.
own stunts, or are those going to be CG?
No, I'm doing my own.
I'm doing
Like,
my own stunts too.
If
Screw
the
that.
script is written, jumps off cliff and scream, don't just stand there and go, jump off, record yourself as you jump off the cliff.
Exactly. Yep. That's how you get authenticity. That's how you make it seem real.
You
have
gotta
to
get
make it seem real.
into the character.
Yes, exactly.
But
That's
the
always
character
true.
is you.
Ex-
Yes, but I need to be more me than I ever was before.
The logic behind acting yourself.
Yeah.
Oh. But yeah.
And that's how everything relates to 3D modeling.
Yes.
Yeah.
All of Chris's years of experience in 3D
Has
modeling
led up to this point.
have led up to 3D printing our own heads
Genius.
to wear them.
Amazing.
You know what you could do?
Oh,
Oh
boy.
jeez, what now? What's up?
After each of you get an entire team of heads, you could put them in an aquarium like the governor from Walking Dead and just stare at yourselves.
Oh my god. Oh jeez. That'd be pretty eerie, just sitting there staring at yourself in an aquarium.
Halloween 2014, can't wait.
Oh boy, this is going to be fun. But yeah,
Oh, that's gonna be...
sorry again. Anyways, Ryan.
And that's how
Oh,
and that was the future of 9-year-old Chris.
oh my. 9. What? I never said I was 9 years old when I started this. Get your
Yeah, he
facts
was
straight.
ninth grade.
9th grade.
Okay,
There
you
you
were,
go.
just be 9. Who cares?
Yeah, whatever. Whatever.
There was numbers involved.
No, I didn't hear them because I honestly don't care about them. There we go.
Motto of the show. Nah, not today.
Nope. Okay. Yeah. Anyways, Ryan, you and I,
Yeah?
we need to get the rest of the AP members to take 2 pictures of their faces, one front on and then one from the side, and then everybody needs to send them to me. And
But we're not gonna tell them what it's for though.
No, we're not.
We're just gonna demand pictures.
Yep.
Give me your pictures. Why? Because you're
Because
pretty.
I have an internet gun, and
Yeah.
I will internet mug you if you don't give me your pictures. Okay.
I guarantee they send you just some of the weirdest pictures.
Oh my god. Yeah, it needs to be like 100% serious, complete poker face. No.
See, they will, but they're gonna hide in like 50 other wacky ones.
Oh god. I'm gonna have to.
Well, no, that's what you can do. Make it like a kiss poster. Like just have Jeremy with his tongue out,
Oh
Jose
god.
flying.
Oh god. It would be
I
a
think
work
that'd
of
be.
art.
I think that'd be great.
It would be great. Just as a. If I could pose stuff faster, I would be doing all of those crazy things. But since I don't really know how to animate too well, I don't know how to rig models, which is literally putting a skeleton into your model so that the mesh bends underneath it, like around the shoulders, the elbows, wrists, neck, all that other stuff. Which
Right, it's basically that PVC pipe-looking skeleton that I'm sure most people have seen at some point.
Yep. That's exactly what it is. Or if you're using 3ds Max, it's kind of a weird looking oblong circled skeleton thing. I don't even know how to explain it.
Interesting.
It's weird.
Yeah, I've never even attempted 3ds Max. I was like, I
It's
can't
tough.
Blender, I can't Maya. I'm gonna stick to my little SketchUp over here.
Yep. Yeah, that's how I'm just like, I'm just gonna stick with this for now.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I can manage to get a my undersuit model rigged properly and have the skeleton underneath configured properly as well, which is another super hard thing that you have to learn, so that you can interchange armor pieces and all that other stuff. So you can literally use the same
cool.
body. Yeah, you can literally use the same body for posing, but just slap different armor on it to make somebody different. There you go. Or
that's gonna
head,
be
or you can
helpful.
scale it. You can do whatever.
3D modeling just got way more intense.
It did. It truly did.
Like over the course of this podcast, it went from I have a square, I have Master Chief, I have a jet plane.
And a
Now
Lamborghini.
I'm making a boy band.
Exactly.
Armored Props has just been reduced to a boy band.
Reduced or increased, because they sell millions.
Oh, he's got a point.
I don't know.
That's a good
And then you just do, like I said, you pull Saints Row and start robbing banks as yourself.
I don't think you want to hear us singing, though.
Yeah, I don't.
You never know.
We wouldn't sing. It'd be like GTA.
Get an audio
5.
guy, then you can just auto-tune.
Oh yeah, good point. We could just have him singing in the background or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like doing some ambience, like people screaming.
See, that works. Have your fake audience there.
Oh god. Okay.
So
well,
we're starting to come up on our time limit.
Oh.
We kind of have like 10 more minutes. So
we have
is
to.
there any kind of finishing stories that you
that
have, Chris, from experience of model making? Trying to get back on topic here.
Yeah, we need to get back on topic. We were all like ADD for the past 20 minutes. Oh, holy crap! We're almost an hour into. Oh wait. Yeah, we are almost an hour.
It's an hour
recording.
podcast, so I'd hope
Damn.
we'd be close to an hour of recording.
Yeah, same here. Okay, well, let me think. Another experience that I've had, 3D modeling. Okay. Okay. Well, when I was used to be like active on, or let me rephrase that. I just sounded like a complete idiot. Anyways, there's this feature on Google SketchUp that's called the SketchUp Warehouse. Have you?
I love the SketchUp Warehouse.
Yes, just there's anything and everything on there. But anyway,
Yeah, you can basically import models other people have done.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what everybody did for the longest time. It's like, I made this. Yes. I am so good. Wow.
Yeah.
Such a
Now,
maze.
the only issue I've ever found with that is at least I can't figure out if you're able to actually edit those models you brought in. I can only seem to scale them.
Yeah, you can edit them. Because here is a little secret that kind of had me befuddled as well. Because I used to do that, like when I would pull a model in from the SketchUp Warehouse, I'm like, why does it just highlight this blue box? What do? I don't know what I'm doing.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then you're just like, sitting there scratching your head. But anyways, that is because the model is put into a group boxing. So essentially that means it's just in a group, everything's compiled into one space so that you don't like click on it and mess something up while you're modeling it. So it just locks that feature in. And just,
okay, that's interesting.
yeah, and to re-access it, you can either double click and you'll go into that group and you'll be able to do whatever you want just within those specific guidelines.
You have no idea how bad I feel right now, considering all I had to do was double click.
Double click or right click and it opens up a drop down menu and you hit explode. And then that just breaks it.
All those years of Google SketchUp.
Adam Hazy, everybody.
Welcome back, Sean.
Yeah, first words of the podcast.
Hey.
I was worried you were gone.
I
Yeah.
actually fell asleep. Not gonna lie. Took a nap.
Did you dream about Ryan in a Kiss outfit?
Strangely enough, yes.
Oh my god.
I wonder why.
Hmm.
So
Well
you're gonna have to
done.
listen back to that. It's quite an interesting tale.
It was. I think the
We've
reason
we,
why we. Oh, the reason why
I
we
was gonna
went
say
so ADD. Ah, we're falling
I was gonna
apart.
say that we've been on topic the entire time, Sean. Don't even
Oh,
worry
really?
Oh,
about it.
that's good to know. That's
Yeah.
totally good to know.
It was all about modeling.
Yeah,
I can say that
Completely.
much.
yeah, good to know.
Completely, 100%. No denying it. Okay, and back on topic. Um, 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 yeah, back to SketchUp stuff. Anyways, SketchUp Warehouse. I used to upload like all of my models there, and I ended up becoming like, well, a higher up figure on there, like a good model.
Like recognizable.
Yeah,
Like, oh,
recognizable.
this guy made something new. Download.
Yeah, exactly. And they check it out, and they're all like, "Wow, this is really cool," and then they rate it, and stuff along those lines. And it's like I had people asking me to make models and all this other stuff, and I'm like, "Oh, sure, I'll do it for the experience, I guess." And I'd do it, and I'd show it off, and then everybody would be like, "Wow, that's really cool." And yeah, eventually I came along this one guy, and he was doing the same kind of thing I was doing, which was Halo modeling. And we kind of talked, exchanged a few messages, and we decided to pretty much like run the warehouse. So essentially, we would do like collaborations, upload them, and send them out to people. Which one big thing that we did, which was called Make Your Own Halo Spartan, and it was literally just a massive database with all of these armors that we had made, and you could, you know, download it and build your own Spartan essentially with the pre-made armors.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, but unfortunately they're gone because the models have been inactive for too long. So sad day. And
Oh, that's not nice.
yeah, it's not nice at all. And another thing that I've constantly had to deal with is faulty equipment, which I've lost at least 10 gigs of models due to hard drive failure.
Ouch.
Yeah, I've got a lot of good old stuff that I have that screenshotted or rendered, but I don't have the model, so I can't go back to it, spice it up, make it look better and more modernized and cleaner and all this stuff, re-render it, and just say, hey, here's a model that I made like 2 years ago, and here's the model now. Which
Right, that's
Yeah.
kind of sad. 'Cause
Yeah,
that'd be really cool to see.
I mean, I only did it once, and it was with a set of SPI armor that I had made. I made one in like 2009, and then I made a different version in 2010, 2012, or 2011, and yeah, I just ended up having them like on a flash drive, so I had ready access to them, and I compared them and stuff, and just looked at them, and just decided to show it to the people that were interested in my stuff, and they were like, "Wow, you've really improved." Because it's a good way to gauge the level of skill that you're at.
Yeah, that's always the best thing to do. And right now we're pretty much at time.
Oh, okay.
So, Chris, I'd like to thank you for coming on today. Hopefully we can have you on another future podcast to
Yeah,
talk more
absolutely.
about what you've been up to. If people want to get in contact with you or see things you've done, where's the best place they could do that at?
Okay, well, place number one, for sure, Facebook. I go by Chris Lambo. I know there's a few Chris Lambos on Facebook, but my icon is of a really cool looking render of the Master Chief, so that's me on Facebook. And then I also have a DeviantArt account, which I go by Dutcho2 on there, and yeah, you can just browse through my gallery and look at stuff, and yeah.
And you can contact him through Armory Props on Facebook.
That as well. Yep. Just request me, just bring my name up, and I'll get to the message as soon as I can.
Okay, that's awesome. So, as we wrap up today's show, kind of get final thoughts down, Ryan, where's the best place people can find you at?
Also on Facebook, either through Armory Props, or which is our team page, or Tucker Props, which is my own prop page.
Sean, where can people find you to get the best information from the sleeping ninja over there?
You can find me on Twitter handle SeanNinja951.
Okay, and if anybody would like to contact me, go ahead and just Google, Facebook, YouTube, United Prop Builders, and I'm sure to come up at some point in time. So until next time, we would like to thank all of you for listening to our podcast. If you could leave us a review and rating on iTunes, we would really appreciate it. It would help us get exposed to more people. So until next time, we'll see y'all later.